A fighter who walks into the cage with the confidence of a man who's already won. A man who tells his opponents, "I'll smash you."
Everybody, I come here for everybody, kill everybody!
And then he does. This is the story of Khamzat Chimaev, from the war-torn streets of Chechnya to the bright lights of the UFC, from obscurity to becoming one of the most feared fighters alive. This is not just a biography. This is the legend of the wolf they call Boars. Khamzat Chimaev's story begins on May 1st, 1994, in Benoyurt, Chechnya, a land scarred by conflict. Chechnya in the 1990s was not a place for dreams. It was a place for survival. Civil war had turned villages into battlegrounds, and families like the Chimaevs carried scars that went deeper than the skin. For young Khamzat, those scars were literal. As a child, he fell face first onto concrete, splitting his lip and nose wide open. The damage was permanent, leaving him with a crooked nose and a scar that still marks his face today. To some, it was an accident. To Khamzat, it became part of his identity. He carried it like a warrior's brand. In Sweden, Khamzat was an outsider, a Chechen kid in a foreign land trying to find his place. But where words failed, wrestling spoke for him. He began training in his teens, building on the raw foundation of wrestling he had already picked up back home. His power was undeniable. Competing in Swedish wrestling tournaments, he dominated, winning gold medals at the Swedish National Championships 3 times. His amateur fights were brief, too brief, almost. He would enter, smash, and leave. Sweden quickly ran out of opponents willing to face him. In 2018, he made his professional MMA debut, and from the very first bell, his style was clear. Pressure, violence, domination. Opponents barely landed strikes. His goal wasn't just to win, it was to break his rivals. By 2020, the UFC had heard enough whispers. They signed him. But no one, not even the UFC, expected what would happen next. It was July 16, 2020, on UFC Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. Enter Khamzat Chimaev. His debut was against John Phillips. The odds were even. The fight wasn't. Khamzat ragdolled Phillips, smashing him on the ground, talking to Dana White while throwing punches. He submitted Phillips in the second round. Dana was stunned. The world took notice. But Khamzat wasn't done. He begged the UFC for another fight immediately. Just 10 days later, he returned, setting a modern UFC record for the fastest turnaround win. He smashed Rhys McKee in the first round, absorbing 0 strikes. 0. 2 fights, 2 finishes, 10 days. The UFC had found its new boogeyman. In late 2020, he caught COVID-19, and it hit him hard. Hospitalized, struggling to breathe, he even announced on Instagram that he was retiring from fighting. But his coach and mentor pushed him to keep going. By 2021, he was back. And so in April 2022, Khamzat faced Gilbert Burns, a former title challenger and one of the best welterweights in the world. For the first time, Khamzat bled. For the first time, he was dragged into deep waters. The fight was chaos. But when the dust settled, Khamzat's hand was raised. He had proven he could take punishment as well as he could give it. That night, he wasn't just hype anymore. He was the real deal. Chimaev's dominance came with chaos outside the cage, too. The message was clear. Love him or hate him, you couldn't ignore him. As of now, Khamzat Chimaev is undefeated in the UFC, with a record that terrifies anyone in his path. Khamzat Chimaev is not just a fighter. He is a symbol of resilience, a refugee from war, an immigrant who found his way in a foreign land. a scarred boy who became a predator. And whether his story ends in championship glory or in chaos, his name will forever echo in the legend of combat. Because some men fight to win, but Khamzat Chimaev fights to destroy. And destruction is unforgettable. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And for more motivational stories and inspiring biographies of world-famous personalities, make sure to subscribe Millionaire Dad so we can learn and grow together. See you in the next one.